Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Jai Krishna Paramahamsa, Kavirajacharya Aswati Krishna Krishna, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Ramacharya Das Thakur ki Jai, Vankara Srila Bhagavatam ki Jai, Shri Yogi Tha ki Jai, Shri Radha ki Jai, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki Gaur Premanande. All glories to the Son of the Lord. All glories to the Son of the Lord. Krishna. All glories to the Son of the Lord. Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Maharaj ki jai.
Bhagvatam, Canto 3, Chapter 8. Chapter is entitled The Manifestation of Brahman from Vishnu. And today, if I'm not mistaken, we're reading text number 16. Is it correct? Asyam Sacham Muhakarikaya. Okay, I'm going to use some time to find this on your cell phones. Canto 3, Chapter 8, text number 16. Let's see a show of hands. Let me know when you've located it. Okay? Alright. Who needs more time? Okay, let's proceed. Asyam Chacham Muhakarikaya. Asyam Chacham Muhakarikaya. Asyam Chacham Muhakarikaya. Asyam Chacham Muhakarikaya. Avastito lokam apasyamana. Avastito lokam apasyamana. Avastito lokam apasyamana. Avastito lokam apasyamana. Now you're chanting apasyamana. But if you notice there's a dot under the H, that's called a visarga. That means there's a aha. Can you say aha? Aha. 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 Avastito lokam apasyamanaha. Avastito lokam apasyamanaha. Good. Avastito lokam apasyamanaha. Avastito lokam apasyamanaha. I should mention this Visarga principle applies on the second line and the fourth line. That's how you do the aha. Of course, there's also the South Indian style, where they do aha wherever the dot comes, even in the middle of the line. But generally, we follow the principle that at the end of the second line and the end of the fourth line, if there's a visarga, a dot under the H, that's when we do the aha. So if someone does it in the middle or anywhere, it's not wrong. It's just the South Indian style. Parikramam yomi vivritta netras. Parikramam yomi vivritta netras. Parikramam yomi vivritta netras. Parikramam yomi vivritta netras. Sadvari leve Sammukhani. Sadvari leve Sammukhani. Sadvari leve Sammukhani. Sadvari leve Sammukhani. Tasyam sachampo ruhakarnikaya. Tasyam sachampo ruhakarnikaya. Avastito lokam apasyamanaha. Avastito lokam apasyamanaha. Parikramam yomi vivritta netras. Parikramam yomi vivritta netras. Sadvari leve Sammukhani. Sadvari leve Sammukhani. Tasyam sachango ruhakarnikaya. Tasyam sachango ruhakarnikaya. Avastito lokam apasyamanaha. Avastito lokam apasyamanaha. Parikramam yomi vivritta netras. Parikramam yomi vivritta netras. Sadvari leve Sammukhani. Sadvari leve Sammukhani. Please chant.
Tasyam sachambo ruhakarnikaya.
Tasyam sachambo ruhakarnikaya.
Avastito lokam pashyamanaha. Parikramam yomi vivritta netras.
Parikramam yomi vivritta netras.
Sadvari leve Sammukhani.
Sadvari leve Sammukhani.
Tasyam sachambo ruhakarnikaya.
Tasyam sachambo ruhakarnikaya.
Avastito lokam apasyamanaha.
Avastito lokam apasyamanaha.
Parikramam yomi vivritta netras.
Parikramam yomi vivritta netras.
Chatvari leve Sammukhani.
Sadvari leve Sammukhani. Vaishnavis.
Tasyam sachambo ruhakarnikaya.
Tasyam sachambo ruhakarnikaya.
Avastito lokam apasyamanaha.
Avastito lokam apasyamanaha.
Parikramam yomi vivritta netras.
Parikramam yomi vivritta netras. avastito lokamapashyamana parikramanyo vivrita netra Chatvari devenu vishammukhani. Tasyam in that Cha and Ambaha water Ruhukarnikayam the world of the lotus Avastitaha being situated Lokam the world Apashyamana without being able to see Parikrama circumambulating Yomni in space Vivrita netra while moving the eyes Chatvari four Leve achieve Anudisham in terms of direction Mukhani heads. Before proceeding further, is there anyone that needs a translation? Anyone needs, we can do in the back for you if required.
Anybody can read the class in English?
Everyone is good, no? सभी लोग इंग्लिश समझते हैं मुश्किल में Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Brahma, born out of the lotus flower, could not see the world. Although he was situated in the world, he therefore circumambulated all of space, and while moving his eyes in all directions, he achieved 4 heads in terms of the 4 directions. I'm going to read text 17 because there's a purport in text 17. Usually, we don't speak on a verse unless there is a purport present, because Vaishnava etiquette dictates how can we dare to comment on a verse that our acharyas have not commented upon. So reading the next verse, text 17. Tasmat yukanta svasan vapurana Jayoni chakra salinadhyam Ashruta kanjam kulokatatam Natmanu adhagadat adidevaha Did you get the devaha? Yes, good. Second line and the 4th line. I'm just going to read the translation in the purport to save some time. Translation. Lord Brahma, situated in that lotus, could not perfectly understand the creation, the lotus, or himself. At the end of the millennium, the air of devastation began to move the water and the lotus in great circular waves. Purport. Lord Brahma, was perplexed about his creation, the lotus and the world, even though he tried to understand them for 1 millennium, which is beyond calculation in the solar years of human beings. No one, therefore, can know the mystery of the creation and cosmic manifestations simply by mental speculation. The human being is so limited in his capacity that without the help of the Supreme, he can hardly understand the mystery of the will of the Lord in terms of creation, continuance, and destruction.
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sadhitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamera Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttarapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagadata Sahagana Raghunatham Brahmam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadutam Parijana Saritam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Dalita Shri Vishakha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Ratra Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasani Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So I'm very happy and honored to be here today. ISKCON Surat, Radha Govindaji Mandir. Thank you so much for having me today. Thank you all for coming in good numbers. We are very enthusiastic to see so many devotees coming.
All these who are sitting here are this way or that way doing preaching services also.
They have it.
Sincere devotees who have come to listen to you.
Can you say again?
These all devotees who are assembled here are in whatever way doing preaching services.
They're preachers.
Yes.
Sabhi Pracharik Lok.
All of them mostly.
Okay.
And they are very sincere, they are very eager to listen to you.
Wonderful. It's a great opportunity. Thank you so much. So because you are all preachers, you are very dear to Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and all the Parampara, Shri Krishna Bhagavan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So before I begin, I seek all of your blessings, and I can speak something of value from the Parampara. Kripaya आप सब आशीर्वाद दीजिए. Thank you so much. So reading from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 3, Chapter 8, chapters entitled Manifestation of Brahma from Vishnu, text 16 and 17. This section of Srimad Bhagavatam is a continuation of a discussion between Maitreya Muni and Vidura. And in this section we're hearing about Srishti, we're hearing about the creation of the universe. And from the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is coming Lord Brahma. And he's appearing on the whorl of the lotus flower. And he doesn't know who he is, or how he has got there, or where he is. He just knows he's on this huge lotus flower. And what's happening with this lotus flower? The waves of devastation and winds are starting to blow. And the lotus is starting to move around and the waves are coming. And I would be in a bit of anxiety if I was him. What about you? Doesn't know where he is, what's happening, some winds are coming and waves are coming. Doesn't know what's going on. How can he understand the situation? Is it possible by mental speculation? Not at all possible. Some things are just beyond our capacity as jivas to understand on our own capacity. So, Srila Prabhupada makes the same point by giving a story about some frogs. Have you heard the frog story? Have you heard the frog? Would you like to hear it again?
Yes.
We've all heard it so many times. Prabhupada employs in his preaching something that's termed in English, it's called Anamanapiyya. Anamanapiyya. Anamanapiyya means to make a sound that recreates or imitates another sound in the real world. Like you just heard me do that for the wind and the waves. It's a very effective preaching technique. And Srila Prabhupada would often use this technique. You'll hear when Prabhupada talks about frogs, sometimes they make the frog sound. So Prabhupada's frog sound is something like this. Kokorokor, 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 kokorokor. That's Prabhupada's frog sound. I do different frog sounds. It's Prabhupada's frogs. So there were two frogs. One was living in his well. He was called Dr. Frog. And the other one, his friend, came to visit him. And his friend said, "Oh, Dr. Frog, you will not believe where I have been." And Dr. Frog said, "Oh, really? Where have you been?" And his friend said, "I have been to the ocean." And Dr. Frog said, "Really? What is the ocean?" And his friend said, "It's a body of water, and it's huge, unimaginable. We cannot believe how big this ocean is." And then Dr. Frog said, "Really? Is it twice the size of my well?" And he began puffing himself up. And then his friend said, "No, it's much bigger." So Dr. Frog said, "Is it 3 times the size of my well?" He puffed himself up some more. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. And his friend said, "No, no, much bigger." And then Dr. Frog said, Is it 10 times the size of my well? Ribbit, 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 pop! He exploded, puffed himself up too much. So we should not be too puffed up. We should not be so puffed up that we think we can understand something with our teeny brain. Srila Prabhupada uses that expression, our teeny brain. We have such limited capacity. Thus, it is not possible to understand these very vast topics like the creation by our own teeny brains, by our own speculation. We have to understand these topics in a different way, beyond our own realm of experience, beyond our own capacity to speculate with our teeny brains. My father was thinking that, to understand the creation, I'll just think about it and I'll figure it out. It's not going to happen like that. Why? Because human beings, they have 4 defects. They have imperfect senses. They're subject to making mistakes. They have a cheating propensity. And they're subject to illusion. So someone with these 4 defects, how can he possibly speculate and understand the creation of the universe? It's not possible. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada is stressing in the purpose today that Lord Brahma is perplexed because it's beyond his capacity. And in the earlier verse, in verse 16, it's mentioned Brahma is moving his eyes in all directions, in 4 directions. And when he moves his eyes in 4 directions, can you move your eyes like this? Well, Brahma did that. And then what happened? He got 4 heads. Let's see in every direction. Can you do that? No. But even though Brahma had 4 heads and 4 brains, still he could not figure this out. He was perplexed. He was totally vimudha. He was in Brahma. He was in illusion. He was totally could not understand. He was perplexed about his creation. Kayami, who am I? He was perplexed about the lotus, where am I? And the world. And he tried to understand it for 1 millennium. He tried for 1 millennium to understand. Millions and millions of years. No matter how long the so-called scientists try to speculate, they would not be successful. There was a famous astrophysicist, I believe Stephen Hawking, and he announced that we have discovered, we made a great discovery, that the nature of this manifest universe will never be entirely known to us. He was so proud of his ignorance. He made this great announcement, but he was just stating the ignorance. Because it is only by receiving knowledge through the disciplic succession, apurusharya, knowledge that is beyond the human jurisdiction, only by getting this kind of knowledge can we understand the truth. Sarvasya Vidi Sanvisto Tasmirtir Jnana Murcha Vedashta Savar Aham Eva Vedyo Vedanta Vedavid Eva Chaham. Bhagavad Gita 15:15, Krishna explains, it is only by me that all the Vedas to be known. So this is actually the ant, the conclusion of all knowledge is to understand Krishna. And if we can understand Krishna, then we can understand all of Krishna's creations. When scientists were saying, I want to study different kinds of plants, And Prabhupada was saying, better to understand who has created all those planets. Then you'll understand everything. Srila Prabhupada continues in the purport today that it's beyond the calculation in the solar years of human beings. We cannot understand this cosmic manifestation just by mental speculation. Only with the help of the Supreme. He says the human being is so limited in his capacity that without the help of the Supreme, he can hardly understand the mystery of the will of the Lord in terms of creation, continuance, and destruction. So only by the mercy of the Supreme. How to get that mercy? Bhaktimam Janati Yasyasmitapata Tomam Tattvato Yatva Vishatetanatra. Krishna says, only by bhakti can I be known in truth tattva. And then Tad Anantara, when one knows that truth, does not have to take birth in this material world again. It goes back to the spiritual world. Therefore, we practice bhakti. And in Kali Yuga, the most important limb of bhakti is this Yuga Dharma, the chanting and the spreading of Harinam Sankirtan. Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
So this morning I was reading Brahma Samhita, and I just wanted to share one verse with all of you, and something from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's purport. Shrishti Shtiti Brahmana Sadhana Shakti Chayeva Yasya Pranamani Bhakti Durga Ichanurupam Yasya Chatishtate Sa Govindamadi Purusham Aham Bhajami. Translation. The external potency Maya, who is of the nature of the shadow of the Chit potency, is worshipped by all people as Durga, the creating, preserving, and destroying agency of this mundane world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, in accordance with whose will Durga conduct herself. So this verse gives us a clue about the creation of this world. It's not that Mahavishnu, Bhagavatam, Vishnu is doing it alone. He's utilizing his energy of Durga. Purport. This is a purport by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So it's very high English. Let's see what we can do here. Okay. The aforesaid presiding deity of Devi Dham is being described. The world in which Brahma takes his stand and hymns the Lord of Goloka is Devi Dham, consisting of the 14 worlds, and Durga is the presiding deity. So this material world, Chikat, Choda, Stan, 14 worlds, Durga is in charge. So Brahma is taking birth in this, he's Swayambhu, he's unborn, he doesn't have a mother, just a father. So Brahma is in these 14 worlds under the jurisdiction of Durga Devi. She is 10-armed, representing the 10-fold fruitive activities. She rides on the lion, representing her heroic prowess. She tramples down Mahishasura, representing the subduer of vices. She is the mother of 2 sons, Kartikeya and Ganesh, representing beauty and success. She is placed between Lakshmi and Saraswati, representing mundane opulence and mundane knowledge. She's armed with 20 weapons, representing the various pious activities enjoined by the Vedas for suppression of vices. She holds a snake, representing the beauty of destructive time, Kala Sarpa. Such is Durga, possessing all these manifold forms. Durga is possessed of Durga, which means prison house. When jivas, that's us, begotten of the marginal potency, Tatashta Shakti, that's us, forget the service of Krishna, they are confined in the mundane prison house, the citadel of Durga. The wheel of karma is the instrument of punishment at this place. The work of purifying these penalized jivas is the duty devolved upon Durga. She is incessantly engaged in discharging the same by the will of Govinda. When luckily the forgetfulness of Govinda on the part of imprisoned jivas is remarked by them by coming in contact with self-realized souls, and their natural aptitude for the loving service of Krishna is aroused, Durga herself then becomes the agency of the will of Govinda. So, it behooves everyone. You know the word behoove? Behoove means it's to our advantage. It's to our benefit. It behooves us to obtain the guileless grace of Durga, the mistress of this prison house, by propitiating her in the selfless service of Krishna. The boons received from Durga in the shape of wealth, property, recovery from illness, of wife and sons, should be realized as the deluding kindness of Durga. The mundane cyclical jubilations of Dasa Mula, Dasa Mahavidya, the 10 goddesses or forms of Durga, are elaborated for the delusion of the fettered means tied up souls of this world. Jiva is a spiritual atomic part of Krishna. When he forgets his service of Krishna, he is at once deflected by the attracting power of Maya in this world. He throws him into the whirlpool of mundane fruitive activity, karma, by confining him in a gross body constituted of the 5 material elements, their 5 attributes, and 11 senses, resembling the garb of a prisoner. So if you go to a prison house, they're wearing this orange color, right? Sometimes the roadies are stopped on the street. Hey, you're wearing the orange color. Did you escape from the prison? It's like that in America. You're orange. Sometimes it happens. So prisoners, they wear special clothes. So we're all prisoners in the material world. And what is our special clothes?
Body.
This material body. It's our prison outfit. In this whirlpool, Jiva has experience of happiness and miseries, heaven and hell. Besides this, there is a subtle body consisting of the mind, intelligence, and ego inside the gross body. By means of the subtle body, the Jiva forsakes one gross body and takes recourse to another. The Jiva cannot get rid of the subtle body. Birth after birth after birth, the subtle body is moving with us. Yes. Full of nescience and evil desires, unless and until he is liberated. So when we are liberated, then we can get rid of the subtle body. On getting rid of the subtle body, he bathes in Viraj and goes up to Haridam. Such are the duties performed by Durga in accordance with the will of Govinda. In Bhagavata Shloka, Vilachamanaya Durdiyaha, the relationship between Durga and conditioned soul has been described. So, how do we know about Durga unless we heard it from the scriptures? We don't see her visibly with her 10 arms and all these weapons. Only by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and our previous acharyas can we understand any of these details. Evam parampara praptam, evam raja sayogu, sakala niramatam, yoganashra parampara. So evam parampara praptam, only by the mercy of the disciplic succession, only by this Vedic knowledge can we understand the truth of our situation. Thus, in our own lives, we should accept the authority of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, and in our preaching, we should also encourage those that we share Krishna consciousness with. And it is not by speculation that we can understand the truth. It is only by knowledge coming in the disciplic succession. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Are there any questions or comments? Yes,
You said 14 lokas under Durga.
yeah.
So Brahma is also under Durga Devi?
It's clear he's in the material world, so he's creating the material Brahma Loka.
We see that he is the creator. He creates everything.
He's a cosmic engineer. Krishna is providing the bricks and water and all the different saman of creation, and he creates with that. So yeah, within the jurisdiction of her. So good Shaye. Anything else?
To understand all these demigods, they are also one sort of eternal parts of the creation.
Jivas and Jivas.
They are Jivas, yet since Brahma created Durga and all these demigods are coming from him to the Prajapatis.
Oh, you're making the point that Brahma created Durga.
That is the question. That is what she is also asking.
Did Brahma create Durga, or was Durga created some other way? Is that the question?
That all these, like this controlling demigods,
The controlling demigods.
they are also part of this manifestation eternal, when the creation is just destruction and again the creation and then the brother, all these things. So they are also every time eternal, not coming from Brahma or like that.
My understanding is that Durga is the Shakti Tattva. She's not in Tatastha Shakti. She's not in the Jiva Tattva. She's Shakti Tattva. So therefore she's not wound up when Jivas are wound up. So it's an Ekapad Vibhuti and Tripad Vibhuti. So in this, there are unlimited Jivas, unlimited living entities. In this material world, it's Ekapad Vibhuti. There's one part. In the spiritual world, there's Tripad Vibhuti, which means 3 parts. So it's in the unlimited scope of things, there's 3 times as many unlimited as the one time unlimited here in this material world. So the ones in the spiritual world are liberated, and the ones here in the material world are under the jurisdiction of Durga Devi. Like that. It's quite an amazing thing that you have an unlimited, infinite amount of jivas. But it's that there are 3 times as many unlimited as the 1 time as many unlimited here in the material world. So yes, this is Durga's capacity, and she's in Shakti Tattva.
We can say that there is personification of the external energy of the Lord. Personification of the external energy of the Lord.
Personification of the external energy of the mind. And she's in Shakti.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's really interesting is every time there's a devastation, and all the Ekapat Vibhuti Jivas, they get wound up and put into suspension. That's an amazing job to put everyone in a filing cabinet, to put everyone in a locker, and everyone is in suspended information. Unlimited amount of jivas carrying their subtle bodies. It means part of their chip, with the information. Our software engineers can start to calculate what kind of processing power would be required for unlimited living entities with various parameters of their subtle body, of their karmic bank accounts, and their subtle body, their mind, their intelligence, false ego. All that has to be encrypted for each particular party
For millions of lifetimes.
for millions of lifetimes, and unlimited, and it's an unlimited database. So this is the kind of calculation the Durga is, one department of Durga's manifestation, her service is within her jurisdiction. So, I have trouble just managing, if I chant 16 rounds today, trouble just pulling down the Sakshi Lala, how many rounds did I chant? And she's managing this incredible universal affair.
Again, so everything is amazing.
Yes, amazing. So, yes, last point. I think we should conclude. The word is out to the more.
Is an extension to this discussion?
Okay, yeah, mic, please.
Yeah,
It's fine. So to understand this subject matter in a beautiful story format, Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking this question to Durvasa Muni on what happens after the end of Brahma's life, after Manvantara. And in this, the description is there how all the jivas go into the belly of Maya and how they are suspended, as we've discussed. So that it's in the story format.
Okay.
So that's where it will be very clear.
Is this a Mahabharata?
Yes.
So Prabhu is sharing, in case anyone did not hear him, sharing in Mahabharata, there's a description in a story format of how the jivas are getting wound up into the body of Maya Devi, of Durga Devi. So good, thank you for collaborating. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
And Maharaj, we can just take one sort of essence. If we really want to understand and realize all these facts, we have to listen from Prabhupada and read Prabhupada.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's never possible. We will again spend your mental calculation, own calculations, without hearing and reading Prabhupada thoroughly, regularly. We cannot just come to the right conclusions.
Yes. Not by our own speculation,
Not our
only by hearing from Srila Prabhupada.
Constant, continuously need to listen. His realizations are the real essence.
Thank you so much for the essence. Sadhu Dharma Sadhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Bhagvatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
धन्यवाद।